Hi friends, welcome back to another multicultural story time with Miss Anita. So, pretty much since I started this program, we've been inviting people from different cultures to talk about their cultures and where they're from. But I was talking to Miss Juliana, who works in the children's section too, if you haven't said hello to her, and we were thinking, we haven't explained what culture and diversity is in the first place to our kids, so why don't we start there and talk about what culture is, what diversity is, and why it's important to learn. So that's what we're going to use this week's story time to talk about. So what is culture, my friends? Can you put your thinking caps on and think about it? Maybe you can talk to a grown-up by you and see if you know the definition of culture, okay? I'll give you some time. Did you tell him? I bet you have an idea of it, but we're going to be explaining a little bit more. So, culture is a lot of things. Culture is how you think, it's the way you live, and what you do, which is practically everything, right? Like, how crazy is that? So let's break it down, okay? There are a lot of components or parts of culture. One of them is how you dress. Based on your culture, you can wear different styles of things. So if you watch the Multicultural Story time with my mom and I am Indian, so I wore an Indian dress that was embroidered. It impacts where you live sometimes. It impacts what you eat. Like sometimes you can see Mexican food is very different than French food, which is very different from Thai food. It impacts the languages that you speak. It impacts the games that you play. It impacts the art and music that not only you listen to, but also that you draw and the things that you see in the world or in your community. And of course, a big part of culture is the different types of celebrations that we have. So some of the celebrations from multiple different cultures and religions are Christmas and Dia de los Muertos and Holi, which is a festival of color. So there's so many parts of culture that in another story time we'll get to reflect on. This often relates to where you live and sometimes even the religion that your family or your community believes in, but not necessarily always. Like, for example, sometimes you can even have a culture based on a group that you're part of. So if you skateboard, there's a skateboarding culture. There are certain things that skateboarders do that non-skateboarders don't do, right? So it's kind of interesting like that, and it's one of my favorite things to learn. So why are we celebrating culture, and why are we learning about it, though? And that's a really important question. What's important about learning about other people's culture is that when you learn about other people, you can understand them better. And when you can understand them better, you can build better relationships and become better friends with them. So for example, in some cultures, looking someone in the eye is considered rude and not something you should do, right? But in American culture, you're supposed to look people in the eye. And that doesn't necessarily always work for our friends who have a hard time looking people in the eye. And that's okay. That's okay if you do. But different things mean the same action in one culture can mean something entirely different in another culture. And another thing is, like, if you understand something about another person's culture, then you can celebrate with them. So, say that you came up to me when it was Diwali, which is a festival of lights, and you were like, "Happy Diwali, Miss Anita!" I would be so happy. I would light up like a candle because you are remembering to think of me on a special holiday for me. It's just like if I came up to you and said Happy Hanukkah or Happy Winter Solstice or Merry Christmas. The more we learn about other people's cultures, the more joy that we can take out of it. Because differences are good, you know, to learn about and connect with. But along with being different, there are a lot of things that make us the same. Like a lot of us still want to be friends with people. We still want to play a lot of games. We still want to read some graphic novels, and all of that is important too. So our first book is going to be about how we're different, how we're the same, and how it's all good. All of it. The differences and the similarities are all good. It's a Sesame Street book called We're Different, We're the Same, and We're Wonderful. It's one of my favorites. So we're going to sit here, cozy up if you can. I can't really see if I'm showing it to you properly, so even if you can't see my face, I hope you can see it. It's by Bobby Jane Cates and illustrated by Joe Matthew. Who here loves Sesame Street? Or used to? I love Sesame Street. Even if I am a big kid, I think Cookie Monster is the coolest. We're different. Our noses are different. Look! Big Bird has a different nose. Our friend here has a different nose. Does your nose look like my nose? Maybe? Yes? No? We're the same. Our noses are the same. But didn't it just say that we were different? How is it the same then? They breathe and sniff and sneeze, achoo, and whiff. That's true. Our hair is different. We all have different textures of hair, all different colors of hair. Some of our friends don't have hair at all, and that's completely fine. Our hair is the same. It grows on us in several places. It warms our heads and frames our faces. Our mouths are different. I bet you, show me your best smile that you have, okay? Your biggest smile. I bet you our smiles are different, even though we're doing the same thing. Our mouths are the same. Their lips form the words we say and smile when it's a happy day. So even if our smiles look different, we can still do the same things with them. And we can still eat like Cookie Monster does with them. We can still kiss people we love. There was a friend. Oh, see? We can blow flower kisses. I don't know if I can do flower kisses, but we can blow kisses like that, especially during COVID, right? Through the screen. Our skin is different. Our skin is the same. It tells us something's cold or hot or wet or dry. It knows a lot. Muscles and bones are wrapped inside it. We all have blood and skin to hide it. It keeps in warmth. It keeps out dirt. It warns us so we don't get hurt. Even if we have different skin tones and even if our skin is dry or soft, we are all people that have skin. And our skin takes care of us. Our eyes are different. Are any of these eyes like any friends or teachers' eyes that you know of? These look like my eyes. That's me looking at Cookie. Me want Cookie. Our eyes are the same. They see, they blink, they weep, they wink. Can you wink to me? Our bodies are different. Some are tall, some are large, some are small, some are short. Our bodies are the same. They stretch and bend and work and play. They all need food and rest each day. They dance and wiggle and ride a bike. They might look different, but they're so alike. That's true, isn't it? Our bodies can be different. And it's never, ever, 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 ever a good idea to make fun of someone who has a different body than you. Because that can hurt their feelings. If someone made fun of you because you had a different body shape, it would hurt your feelings too. So let's remember that and celebrate how cool it is that all of us have different body types. Our feelings are different. Our feelings are the same. Lonely, worried, scared, excited, happy, loving, glad, delighted. We may not have the same feelings at the same time, but we all experience the same feelings. We're the same. We're different. That's what makes the world such fun. Many kinds of people, not just me, not just one. A rainbow would be boring if it were only green or blue. What makes a rainbow beautiful is that it has every hue. So aren't you glad that you look like you? We're different. We're the same. And that is wonderful. It's so wonderful. You know, Sesame Street said it truly. Wouldn't it be boring and sad? Think about a world if we didn't have the movie Coco or Encanto because that culture didn't exist. Or if we didn't have any Christmas cookies because nobody celebrated Christmas. Or I don't know if you guys have tried this, but there's these little tiny donut holes that are put in rose syrup and they're called gulab jamuns. They're super yummy and scrumptious. It's okay if you haven't had it, but you can get them at Indian grocery stores. It would be such a sad world if we didn't have these different parts of culture and different foods to try. But luckily we do. So that is such a good thing, and I'm so thankful for it. So another good thing about learning about different cultures is that the more you accept other people and the more love you give to people of different cultures from you and the people from your culture, the better you're going to make the world. So we are going to read a book called We've Got the Whole World in Our Hands by Rafael Lopez. And this is based on a song called He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, but we're going to talk about all of us. And when we talk about having the world in our hands, what do you think that means? Can you tell a grown-up what you think it means? I'll wait, and it's okay, and then we'll talk about it at the end of this story time, okay? I wish I had a grown-up to talk to. Oh, I am the grown-up. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at the cover before we start the book. Does this look like a world or a yarn, or what is this? And look, we have different friends here. We have friends of different skin tones. They have different eye styles. They have a head wrap. Birds and a sun being really happy. This seems like a good world to live in. Let me see if I can scoot so our friends can see this book. So I'm going to read this regularly, and then we're going to sing the song the second time, okay? And you can sing along if you know it once you get the rhythm. So first we're going to just read the book and look at the illustrations and focus on that, though, because Mr. Lopez did a great job illustrating this book. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. Oh my goodness, look at how much yarn she's carrying. I think the yarn is supposed to symbolize, it's supposed to make it seem like the yarn is like the world. We've got you and you've got me in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. Another thing to consider is that multiculturalism and diversity go hand in hand. So diversity means differences between people and things that should be celebrated. And that can be related to culture, right? Like it can be related to Australian culture and what's another place? Spanish culture. But diversity can also relate to how we interact with the world. So people are diverse in their brains. They can be neurodivergent, or they're diverse in their physical abilities. They can be in a wheelchair, or maybe they are blind. And those are still things that are celebrated and appreciated, because that's part of what makes people who they are. And people are wonderful, or they can be at least. We've got the sun and the rain in our hands. Whoa, what a beautiful moon. We've got the moon and the stars in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. Oh, he only has a little tiny snail. We've got the wind and the clouds in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. Look, there's animals around us too. We've got the rivers and the mountains in our hands. We've got the oceans and the seas in our hands. We've got you and you've got me in our hands. See how they're all connected by this thread? They're connected because they all live in the same world and they take care of the same world, and we're here to take care and celebrate each other. We've got the whole world in our hands. Wow, what are people doing? Are they using the yarn world, and doing fun things with it? Somebody's playing jump rope, someone's playing limbo, someone's playing a hand game, someone's just hanging out with it. We've got everybody here in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. It looks like they're helping each other so they don't fall. How sweet! We've got everybody everywhere in our hands. Somebody's giving an animal a flower. Whoa. We've got the whole world in our hands. Oh, and look, there's a monkey. So it's a hot air balloon. We've got the whole world in our hands. So, earlier I asked you to talk to a grown-up to see what you thought about having the whole world in your hands and what that meant. Here's my understanding of it. When you have the whole world in your hands, it means that, one, this whole world is a space for us to play and connect and to celebrate and to love with people, just like the friends in our book who are very diverse and from different cultures did. But it also means that we have a responsibility to take care of this world that we have. When the sun and the moon and the rain and the animals and the people are in our hands, it means we are here to take care of them and to take care of each other. And that's the most important thing about learning about diversity is we want to learn about different cultures and diversity so we can give love and make friendship and take care of each other in this world and make the world a better place by doing that. And it's much easier to make friends when you are more open to learning about the differences between them. So, remember I said we're going to read this book 2 times? So the second time, we're going to be singing it, okay? You can pat to it, you can clap to it, you can sing it along with Miss Anita, whatever you want, okay? We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got you and you've got me in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. Whoopsie daisies. I needed to breathe more on that one. We've got the sun and the rain in our hands. We've got the moon and the stars in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the wind and the clouds in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. This makes me want to jingle and go, da-na-na-na-na. You want to take a dance break and do that with me? Da-na-na-na-na. We've got the rivers and the mountains in our hands. We've got the oceans and the seas in our hands. We've got you and you've got me in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got everybody here in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got everybody everywhere in our hands. Whoa. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the whole world in our hands. We've got you and me and everyone else in our hands. Oh, my friends, thank you for listening and participating. I hope you guys were clapping or snapping or singing along, and it's okay if you weren't. So, for this week's craft, we are going to make a diversity banner. You guys are going to get little itty bitty people made out of rainbow colors, and each color is supposed to represent a different type of person in the world. And we're going to string them on, just like our book had a thread that connected everyone, the thread that meant the world and the love and care that we share for each other. We are going to thread and stay connected to our friends. And here's an example, because I'm not at the library right now, and this is where the example is. So this is the example that Miss Hannah, I don't know if you can see it properly, and Miss Anita made. And you got googly eyes of different shapes, some big ones, some small ones, some with eyelashes that you can put on. And you can hang this anywhere to remind yourself that we are here to celebrate and love people from different cultures and backgrounds. You can decorate it however you want. We have some silly faces in there. So that is going to be something fun. And you can also add stickers if you want, or you can add paint. It's just very thin paper, so be careful, okay, my friends? So all of that will be there to pick up starting this Sunday, and it'll last throughout the week, and there are about 18 packets of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning about how important it is to learn about different cultures, and how we have to celebrate how cool our differences and our similarities are together. I think it's just the most awesome thing ever. It just makes me so excited that I want to dance. Dance break. You can do it with me if you want. Okay, my friends, I will leave you guys now, but I hope to see you in the library picking up some of our story time materials soon, and then I hope to see you in person soon. We will let people know once we have in-person story time. So I'm sending all my love to all of my friends. It's okay, you can catch it because it's virtual. Be ready to catch it all.